name's Periwinkle. I can't talk in this makeup, but I'm trying. I have class in like 5 minutes, so I don't know how I'm gonna work. But I would like to welcome you all. This is 3 scary gore makeup tutorials, easy to impress your friends. And I want to show you guys some sample gore that you can do for parties or haunted trails or just to show off to your friends. Just some quick tutorials. It's hard to move my mouth, but they're super easy. Like, all in all, they took me like less than an hour each, and like they don't take long at all. If you just have a little bit of makeup expertise and an eye for art, you can do them really quick. But anyway, let's get on to the video.
Okay, we're starting off with the contact in. I just have a normal white contact just because I wanted to. This is a completely optional step. And of course I'm priming. Well, I would prime, but I don't have time. And then what I'm doing is I'm outlining with like a rose gold liner where I want my gash to go. This is just a step I like to do just to keep myself in line. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tear up a bunch of tissues. Like, honestly, pretty basic. I'm going to dip them in latex and stick them on the gash. Honestly, this seems like such a basic method, but it works. So just stick up the ripped up tissues within the gash. It's going to make it look like actual human tissue peeking through the skin. I promise it works. Now I'm going in with some gel blood from Spirit and just dabbing it all on. Just dab it all on. Go crazy, go ham. I try not to leave any white peeking through, no skin peeking through, especially in the middle of the wound. And I just go ham. Spread it out as much or as little as you want. Honestly, this is the easy part. Now I'm going to take some scab blood and, like, in the middle of the wound, kind of go a little bit heavier than like on the outside of the wound, just to make it a little more diverse in the blood, make it look a bit more realistic, and just apply it how you see fit. I also kind of did like a hand streak with the blood. I don't know. Just go ham with it. Make it look like your own. So that's this look. It's just a normal gash, but I think it actually has a huge effect, especially if you can block out your eyebrows. I didn't have any glue on me to block out my eyebrows. I think it's a huge effect, and if you have contacts, just go ham with it. This is one you can get very creative, amp up the position, do whatever you want. This is all your own, but it's very simple. So now this next look, I call Save the Bees. Basically, I'm putting the hexagonal honeycomb shapes on my head, and then of course having some honey drip out of my mouth, blocking out an eye. I think it looks really good, and yeah, I love this look. It was probably my favorite. So first, of course, you can prime. I didn't have time, but I suggest it. Now I'm going into my scar putty, and I'm going to just kind of scoop up a little bit with my applicator and roll them into like snake-like long little rods, I guess. and putting the hexagonal shapes on my face. Hexagonal is like 6 sides. That's the natural shape a beehive comes in. So I'm just putting that on my face. You can do them as little or as big as you want. I decided to make them quite big, kind of be like, oh god, that's a huge bee kind of thing going on. So I decided to put them on my face like that. And just doing whatever pattern, just make sure that hexagonal shape comes through. So I decided to pause for a second. I'm going to put on one of these sightless eye prosthetics. And I'm just going to cover one of my eyes, the one closest to the hive, and just kind of place it just like, oh no, they ate out my eye. And then I'm going to get back to placing the hexagonal pieces. Now I'm going into the James Charles palette, and I'm going to be taking a few shades just to kind of get the honeycomb look. I'm going into the shade B, which I think is really fitting, and that's where I'm going to get my yellow from. I know you guys can't see the honeycomb, but whatever. And I'm also going into the 3 middle shades in the middle of the palette, and that's kind of what I'm using. I'm blending all of those together in the middle, concentrating the darker shades in the middle, and then blending out to the more yellow shades, and just kind of going with my artistic flow. You guys do what you think is best. So I do this again at the end, just because I went back over with powder, but I took a bit of my gold liner. It's not very opaque, but it gives like a liquid looking consistency to make the honeycomb look more real. So I'm just applying that to my honeycomb, make it actually look like it's glistening with actual honey. Now, after I pinched the edges of my scar putty to make them more clean, I am lining the scar putty with this yellow liner from NYX. If you look up an image of honeycomb, they are kind of lined with bright yellow, so that's kind of what I'm going for here. So now I'm taking some blood gel and going around all of the hexagonal shapes. This part is optional. I wanted to make it more gory, and keep in mind with all the eyeshadow and all of the lines, stuff like that, I'm keeping the eyepiece in mind. But now I'm just adding this and then kind of blending it out at the end just to make it look irritated and like it's protruding. You guys will see, but this is going around. I didn't add any scab blood to this piece, but this is just to make it look more protruding and that it's dried blood and that almost like this has been here for a long time. Now I'm going in with a NYX white liner just to add some highlights. Now I'm going to take my yellow shade again and go around my mouth, just kind of make it look like stuff is oozing, stuff like that, and then we'll get to the honey drop in a second. Now with the yellow liner, I am tracing the shape of the honey drop coming from my mouth, and then I'm going to take the orange shade from the James Charles palette just to add some dimension to it, and I'm going to go over top of that drop. And of course I'm adding some gold liner back onto the honeycomb, and I'm also going to add it to the drip to make it look a little more liquidy. Now I'm just going to highlight with the white liner again. And this is the look. I know you guys didn't really get a full image of it till the end, but hopefully I described it okay. Basically, you just put honeycombs on your face and do what you want. There's Save the Bees. But I really like it. I hope you guys try it out. I mean, this is probably one of my favorite looks of this video, but then again, all of them are pretty easy in my opinion. I hope you guys try it for sure. So this makeup look is inspired by my Babysitter's Vampire. It's the alligator episode where the alligator comes through the pipes and leaves like a tooth in the shoe. I thought it'd be cool if like a monster came up. I'm going with the alligator, so this makeup look is called the Alligator Bite. Comes up and takes a bite of my head and leaves all its teeth in my head because I'm invincible. So that's what this look is named after. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, for this one, I'm basically starting with these vampire fangs that I got from Spirit, but they were like $2.99 each. And I had a discount. I didn't know they came with 6. I probably should have read that, so I have a bunch extra. But I'm cutting off the fang part just so I can use the teeth. And so I'm just gonna cut off the fangs one by one. And that's me realizing I had a lot, and I'm probably gonna have an extra pack. So I'm just gonna snip the fangs, you know, like normal, and just cut them off as, you know, as clean as possible, I guess you could say. I have about 6 cut out in total, and that fits my forehead. You might have a bigger forehead, you might have a smaller forehead, and this is me putting in the fangs and then forgetting to take them out for the rest of the video basically. So what I'm doing is I'm taking some scar putty and then taking my applicator tool, digging it up, and then covering the bottom of the fang with the scar putty, kind of making it look like it goes into my skin, and then attaching it to my forehead with some latex. So in attaching mine, I kind of did it in like a crescent shape, kind of like a big bite. But that's just me. Again, you can do it however you want. Now I'm just going to be taking some blood gel I got from Spirit, and I'm going to be painting the top of the fangs, because if a monster loses its fangs, I don't care how strong it is, it's going to come out with some blood. So I'm just kind of going over to the top, making them bloody. You can probably add some scar putty to it as well. I just didn't think of it, so I'm just kind of making it look like it just came out of the monster. So I just took some blood and also put it around the bottom of the teeth, you know, where it's going into my skin, and I kind of spread it in between the teeth as well, not just leaving it to its own little area, making it kind of look like a crown. Then I'm taking some scab blood and also adding it just to make it, I don't know, more chunky. I don't know, I just added that. After dragging some of the blood down my face, making it look like drips, I'm done. I think it looked really good. I think it looks awesome. I really love the look of it. I don't know. You guys tell me what you guys think about it. This is probably one of my favorites, and again, all of these are pretty good, in my opinion.
Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, leave a like down below and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!